and today we are going to be doing some Christmas Q&A. But before we get into it, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell to become part of the family. And if you like our content, definitely share with your friends and family. It helps our channel and our family grow. With that said, let's just get into it. We have 10 questions that we came up with, and we are going to answer them.
Ready to rock.
So I have them on my paper right here. So the first question is, what is your favorite Christmas drink?
That's easy for me. I'll take this one first. So hot chocolate, sprinkle those marshmallows on there. I don't like whipped cream. I don't like it super hot, but pretty warm-ish. And then spoon. What else? I think that's it. Oh, sometimes I'll dip a candy cane in it too. But yeah, I like that. And then put it all together and then drink that.
Yeah. So for me, I actually have two. And Jason could literally tell you how much I'm addicted to this first one, but apple cider is by far my favorite. Yeah. Like on Thanksgiving, on New Year's, on Christmas, I have to have part of my tradition. Every day. Yes, all my friends watching, I used to pretend like I was drunk to apple cider because I love it so much. Anyways, and then like Jason said, I love hot cocoa. And this year I've actually...
I didn't say that, but you do like hot cocoa.
Oh yeah, well, and then hot cocoa is also one of my favorites. It's a newer favorite. I love hot chocolate, but it wasn't really a like family tradition for me. But when I met Jason, it was a must because he is addicted to hot chocolate.
Yeah, I don't have a lot, just pretty much during Christmas time.
No, he literally makes me put enough marshmallows to where you can't see the hot chocolate.
Oh yeah, it's layered.
But for this year, I substituted the peppermints with the peppermint mocha creamer, and it's so good. It is so good. Try it. Definitely let me know what you think down in the description below. Question number 2. What is your favorite Christmas treat?
So, favorite Christmas treat. So, yeah, I love candy and things like that, and things that I got in my stocking, but always has been my favorite, and I tended to now eat it during Christmas time specifically, but chocolate satin pie during Christmas. Amazing. I don't even need ice cream or anything, just a slice of that. Yeah, it's so good. I mean, everything from the actual like mousse to the crust, it's like Oreo crust, and then there's little chocolate stuff on there. It's really bad for you.
To chime in, it's the Marie calendars.
Yes, yeah.
So
you can get it though from the like, grocery store.
You can get it from Walmart. This is where we usually get it, and it's in the freezer section. It's awesome.
Awesome.
So I like the chocolate satin pie too, but I really love peppermint barks, like the chocolates and stuff, like the Ghirardelli's ones especially. Those are my favorite. And our next door neighbor, shout out to you, you know who you are. She makes the most amazing fudge in this world. And obviously the potato candy that we made with my niece and nephew, it's a family tradition for me, but yes, anything Christmas treats, I'll try it and I'll probably like it because they're good. All right. Number 3. What's one family tradition you passed on to your kids?
Oh, it's easy. My number 1 is recording during Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I grew up on that. We said this in our first video for YouTube. My dad had a huge camera that sat on your shoulder, and that's a tradition that I continue today. I've always done it. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day recording, just for those memories and because they mean so much to me, and the whole time travel thing, if you look back at some of our other vlogs. I feel like that's one of the things that you can get close to actual time travel, is to watch your old videos, you younger and things like that, and you feel like you're there.
Yeah. That's a good answer. For me, it's definitely the Christmas treats. It's making potato candy. It's passing down the recipe to my kids. That's something that is very special to me now that my grandpa is not with us, and he's the one that taught my grandma, who taught my mom, who taught me, And it's just one of those traditions that I don't want to break. Even though the treat is very bad for you, has a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah,
it's just one of those.
Man.
It's one of those things that I can't. It's not Christmas without potato candy. Like, it's just one of those things. So that would have to be something that I've passed down to them. Number 4.
Mm-hmm.
What is the best and worst present you've ever gotten?
The best and worst? I mean, if we're talking about specifically physical presents, then I would say it's pretty tough because there's a lot of presents that I liked growing up as a kid. But probably the number one that was just crazy was getting a present. It was a box like this big, and it was addressed from Santa to me, my brother, and my sister. And me and my brother and sister, more so me and my brother, my sister would play a little bit, but when we were kids, we'd known about Atari. My dad grew up with Atari, and we'd played video games off and on. This was when we were I think 5 or so, around that age. And we were getting to the age where we were interested in video games and we wanted our own system. And Santa gave us this box addressed to me, my brother and sister, and me and my brother and sister opened it, and we went completely nuts. It was Nintendo. It was a Nintendo with two controllers, the red and grayish gun that came with Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers, and that was basically our introduction into gaming. And ever since then, even to this day, when I go over to my brother's house, we'll play video games. Even Nintendo. I have Nintendo still. My dad to this day still plays with us. Not often. None of us really get to play a lot, but that was a crazy one.
Didn't my mom buy you the Nintendo?
Yeah.
That was a Super Nintendo.
Yeah. No, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still love Nintendo to this day. I love Nintendo. Anyway.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say that because, mind you, I've seen his reaction on his home videos.
Yeah.
It was priceless. They screamed so loud. And what's your worst?
I don't know if I'd say, necessarily a worst gift. Anything comes to mind. But because, obviously I feel like when you're older, you realize that just getting a gift is someone thinking about you, which is that's the gift. But, worst gift? Someone gave me a block, those huge, or they're like a brick, and it's fruitcake, and it's wrapped up, and you can get it from a grocery store or something like that. I got that from somebody, and I was glad that they were thinking of me and they gave it to me. But that thing was terrible. It was disgusting. It shouldn't be, it's bad. But I wouldn't say that anything's the worst, but I didn't like the taste of that present.
For me, the best gift, trying to think back to all my Christmas presents because there's so many different ones. I think it would have to be my portable DVD player. That was one of my favorite favorite presents as a kid was my portable DVD player.
That lasted a long time.
Yeah.
It was sturdy.
It was a block, but it was one of the best gifts, and it was a way for me to watch DVDs without having to sit and watch TV with my parents. So it was the only way that I can actually watch whatever I wanted to, and so it was a little bit of freedom too. And then worst, again, like Jason said, as an adult, I don't think of anything as a worst, but I do have to say the Dollar Tree candy is disgusting.
Yeah. I do like a lot.
Before.
I like a lot of stuff from Dollar Tree, but the candy.
No, the chocolate.
Unless it's
chocolate.
Name brand candy, then something's weird.
So it would definitely have to be that, or underwear would be worst gift. Yeah. Number 5. When you were a kid, where did Santa leave your gifts?
Pretty much Santa left them. Well, so Santa left them under the tree, but he also would leave them in stockings too.
Yeah, but didn't Santa hide them too? You had to
go
looking for one.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. So Santa did. I don't know if I would say hide, but Santa did leave gifts that were not under the tree as well and not in the stockings.
And you had to go look for it.
No. We just ended up finding them. Yeah, so that was really cool. But those were the 3 places. But yeah, I mean, obviously the ones where we'd kind of run into the Christmas presents or something like that, or Santa would put them in different areas, different places. That was always cool as a kid. Like, what? There's a present.
And it was usually your last present that you randomly found.
Yeah, and what was cool about it was, you think that, you're done, all the presents, you open your stocking, everything's cool, and then all of a sudden you run into this, it's like, you found gold or something. You're like, another present. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. It's actually how we found the box that ended up being Nintendo.
Wasn't that the year that Santa put it on the roof?
Yes.
Yeah. So Santa put it on the roof.
Yep.
In the video. Yeah. There was one time that he put it in the fireplace too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That would have been bad if we wanted to light the fire. Yeah.
But so for me, Santa didn't hide presents.
Under the tree.
Well, it was under the tree, obviously, but they were not wrapped. My Christmas presents were not wrapped from Santa. Santa built the presents, and they were out underneath the tree waiting for me to play with them. So that's difference between Jason and me. It must have been the area of California that we were in that he did that way.
I'm sure there's personal experiences with every person or family.
Yeah. All right. So number 6, did Santa ever leave you a note?
Yes, not often an actual note, but like I said, just talking about it, there was presents under the tree, in the stocking, and then sometimes we just run into a present later. There was a year though, and I think just one, but maybe there was a couple, but I know definitely one where it wasn't just a note. There was notes like to my sister and my brother. But yeah, I mean, not necessarily notes, but that one year, there was notes, but just running into presents more than notes.
Well, for me, I only got one letter, and it was "You're almost on the naughty list" letter. And funny enough, we forgot to take it out of the stocking, and Santa didn't take it out of the stocking, and it was still in the stocking the next year. So I was like, what the heck is going on here? I was good. What the heck? I don't want coal. But it was a very, very stern letter saying that I needed to listen to my parents and that I needed to clean my room and actually do what I was told. So no, I remember that very vaguely, very fondly. So number 7. Did your family have a real or fake Christmas tree?
Real. So every year we had a real Christmas tree. It changed year to year where we got them though. So when I was a kid, it was 100% at a Christmas tree farm. We'd always go to a Christmas tree farm and pick it out like you would like a pumpkin at a pumpkin patch. We'd always pick a tree as a family. As we got older, stores started to have Christmas trees, so we ended up going to a store to pick out a Christmas tree. But for the most time, how I grew up as a kid, we'd go to a Christmas tree farm in our hometown every single time.
That's really cool. For me, it was the opposite. I only had one real tree, and that was because my dad actually was one of Santa's little helpers and dressed up like Santa for, I think, my second Christmas. And when I was 2, and we got a Christmas tree out of it. But other than that, it was always a fake tree. So for us, I like to have a fake tree up and a real tree up, because fake tree represents my family tradition and real tree represents Jason. So it works. Number 8. Did you used to visit Santa at the mall?
Yeah, all the time. I loved going to the mall as a kid during Christmas time, because there's Christmas stuff everywhere. There's Christmas stores. Everything's decorated like Christmas. In the mall, there's a huge tree with presents, and you're always like, you know, I wonder if one of these is for me, but it was always like as big as you, so you're like, what's in there? Yeah, I loved going to the mall when I was a kid, you know, during Christmas. Well, when I was a kid, it wasn't ever for like clothes or anything like that. It was just for Christmas time. And then you could go to like the coffee shop or something like that if it had it, and you could get like a Christmas drink. But yeah, I loved it. I loved going to see Santa.
Yes, I did too. And then sometimes it just depends. So like when my grandma worked at Home Depot, she would have Christmas parties and Santa would be there. So I'd see Santa there. So I'd skip going to the mall. But yes, I went to the mall and we always saw Santa. Even if it was just to like wave at him and say, "We love you, Santa." Yeah, that was pretty much it. So number 9. What's your favorite Christmas memory with your grandparents? Or a grandparent?
I grew up with both of my grandmas, so my favorite, and I thought it was cool then. I think it's an amazing thing to look back on because we do have videos, you know, they're on DVD now, but that we watch. But as a kid, I thought it was really cool that both of my grandmas were there during Christmas. I always thought that was really cool. And favorite memories is just them interacting, being with us, and both of them. Because, you know, sometimes you'd make a trip to one grandma's house, you know, we'd make a trip to my mom's house, and then we'd make a trip to my dad's mom's house. But during Christmas time, they both were there, and it was really cool.
They were friends, too.
Yeah, and they were friends. And so the thing is that I think is really cool is to look back on that, and then I think I have just a much bigger appreciation of them coming together and being there on Christmas. It was really cool. So not necessarily a particular memory, but just them being there together.
Yeah, that's a good one. Your grandmas are cute. So for me, every memory with my grandparents is icing on the cake to me, especially because both my great-grandpa and my grandpa are gone, and it's just, you know, my great-grandma and my grandma, my regular grandma. I wasn't really around my dad's side of the family. They lived far away, so yes, we did do a couple of Christmases with them, but the biggest, fondest memories I had was sitting on my grandpa's lap, helping him open his presents. And that man was so like humble. He would unwrap a pair of like slippers and you would think it was gold. Like his reaction on his face. He loved Santa. He always called him the jolly old fat man. And he just loved Christmas time, and he would share there's this like treat, and I'll have to like ask my grandma what it was, but it's chocolate and it has like this like white cream in the middle of it. I think you've had it before, but it's like the specific one, and it was always during Christmas time that I can remember us eating them together, and my grandma telling him not to give Ashley any more. You're gonna spoil her dinner or stuff like that. And then with my great-grandpa, I was fortunate enough to know my great-grandpa because my mom, my grandma, and everyone there, they had kids young. And my great-grandpa passed away when I was 15, so I had 15 years of being spoiled by my great-grandpa. And that man spoiled you rotten. Like, he was just one of the most warm-hearted, jolliest man that you would ever meet. And he would literally make me sneak him candy because he was also diabetic and I did not know that, and my grandma did not want him having candy, so that was kind of funny. Looking back at it, I was his like middle ground to the sweets. And I have one home video, and it was because he was in New Hampshire and he wanted to see me grow up a little bit, and so he let my parents borrow their home, their camcorder, just like Jason's dad had. And that's how I have memories with my grandma or my grandparents and him. And just thinking about it's bringing like a smile to my face, because it's just one of those things that I will talk about for hours. You can ask Jason. All right, so number 10, last question. What does Christmas mean to you?
Big question. I think Christmas means to me being with family, being with family and friends, and just celebrating, spending time with them, and the joy of the holiday, and taking a break and taking a breather and just hanging out. Obviously, it's been different. I mean, from a kid to now, but when I was a kid, hanging out with my family, and then now, obviously, hanging out with our kids and doing everything that they want to do and making sure that they have a good Christmas. If all of our family could be here, that would be great, and we'd all celebrate together. But I think for me, it's about family. Christmas is about family and spending time, and that's what I think about as far as Christmas.
For me, it's the same. I think that Christmas means just spending more time with family, appreciating who you have around you that love you and support you, and reflecting on the year and reflecting on all the good, generous things that you've done to help others.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think it's a giving time. It's a time to be with family, and I think those two combined can be something that you keep in your mind all year long. But I think it's one of those times during the year where you really, really think about it, about what kind of impact that you're making, and hopefully it's a positive one.
Yeah, I feel like Christmas is always at the end of the year because it's a way to start the year out right.
Yeah,
you're starting with
point.
Love in your heart. You're starting with a more humble heart, more giving heart, and I feel like that's why Christmas is at the end of the year, because you start the year thinking not just about yourself but others and your loved ones, and just reflecting on what it is to be a good person. And I just wanted to let you guys know that for us, Christmas does not just mean about getting presents and that stuff. It's about we try to instill in the kids the true meaning of Christmas, and that's celebrating Jesus' birthday. With that said, remember, family, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell to become part of the family. Until then, have a family-filled day, and we'll talk to you in our next video. See you later!